Okay, day 4. Got the mains fired up. We'll take a peek in there, a little run for a minute or two, then close the hatch. But yeah, we're gonna try to cut off a big chunk today and get rolling to Pickwick Lake. Still kind of dark out. It is 6:04 in the morning. Shane's gonna start pulling the anchor. We're just starting to get a little bit of light, but we're gonna start putzing out of this anchorage that we stayed in last night. Just because we want to knock out about 165 miles today. Okay, just a day 4 update. It is 9 o'clock on the dot in the morning. Been rolling for just about 3 hours now. Just getting into the end of Kentucky Lake here, continuing on in the Tennessee, the 10 Tom, and heading to Pickwick. We should be at the head of Pickwick Lake there in about 4 hours. And then once we get through the lock at the top of the river there, we have about another 15 miles to go to a marina that we have booked for the night. Some of these houses on the Tennessee are just insane. Way up on the hill and stuff. Such a cool waterway. Bunch of boats, small boats on the river though, so we're slowing down for all of them. We got time today, so not really in a huge rush, but we do want to try to get through Pickwick lock before the afternoon. You guys are all fishing, no John boats. Fun stuff. Saw a bunch of bass boats in Kentucky Lake. I know it's a big bass fishing lake, and so is Pickwick. So we're headed to another big bass fishing lake there at the top of Alabama. I just took the helm back from Shane. Usually when we do these transports, we do like 2-hour shifts at the helm. That just keeps each other fresh and stuff. Other person can rest or snack on something or whatever. And it actually helps the trip go by a little bit quicker too. Still in the Tennessee River. Got close to 30 miles to go before we get to the lock. And even right here in the river, 40 foot of water, and it's like not even that wide, but crazy depth in these little rivers. It's pretty cool stuff. I like it. Passing some boats here, and then I'll get her back up on plane. It's Sunday, so a bunch of boats out on the river, doing some fishing or just some boating or just enjoying the water. John F. Seacrest, second pleasure craft in line here off your bow. How do you want to see me, Cap?
Stay right over where you at, 1-1.
Copy that. See you on the one. There are a big old barge coming down the Tennessee here. Or he's coming up. He's 3 wide. He looks like he's pushing a bunch of dirt or something. We'll see. There's another pleasure craft in front of me, so I'll get past this guy and then past the pleasure craft. All the great loopers, they run like in between like 6 and 10 knots majority of their trip, which we're transporting, so we're doing like 24, 25 knots unless we're slowing down for one of these barges or passing another pleasure craft. Pass this guy here. It almost looks like he's pushing mulch or something. This is the barge that I just called. That's it, Doug. Yeah, that's all mulch. He's 3 wide and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long. So he's got 15 barges that tug is pushing up this narrow little river. Pickwick, locking down 50-foot pleasure craft. You got me on 1-3.
Pickwick.
Good afternoon. I'm over here on the riverside requesting your next opening.
Stay at least an hour.
Copy that. 1 hour. Standing by on 1-3.
Okay.
1 hour.
So just pulled up to Pickwick Lock and Dam. The second half of the trip took way longer than we thought it was going to. Weren't anticipating to have to slow down as much as we did, so that's a little unfortunate. And now he's telling us an hour and it's 2:50. Won't get in there till 4, and the marina we need to go to closes at 5. So hopefully we can get to that marina before 5 to get some fuel in her. But yeah, we might make a call and see if they could stay late
Yeah.
for us. So we'll see what the deal is. All right, lock doors are opening. Waiting for the call. You can't just you can't just like pull in when they're open. You got to wait for the lockmaster to call you on the VHF and tell you you're clear to pull into the lock. Good morning, guys. It is day 5. So yesterday my GoPro died as we were going into that last lock up here at Pickwick. It's just a couple miles from here. But basically we got in there. Somebody had to raft up to us. No big deal. They were really nice people. We got through the lock and everything. Came over here. We were able to get fuel right before they closed. Pumped out the boats. Went to the store and got groceries. So that was good. And we went to a restaurant and had a nice dinner. But for the rest of the trip, the plan is to just get as far as we can each day and sleep on the hook if we have to. So we're going to try to find a fuel stop sometime in the afternoon, most days, and then just keep going after that until dark and then find an anchorage just to be as efficient as possible to try to get this boat home within the next 4 to 5, 6 days at most, back there to St. Pete. So that is the plan right now, and hope you guys keep on watching. All right, there's still a bunch of fog out, but we got to get rolling if we're gonna make some good time today. Shane's up there rinsing all the bugs off the boat. There are so many bugs at all the places we stop. It's just crazy. Hopefully the fog burns off quick so we can get rolling quick and knock all of them off, but it's just crazy everywhere we stop on this trip. Just so many bugs. We're going in and out of the cabin very quickly, closing the door so they don't get in there. But yeah, no, we're gonna get rolling here. Got a lot of ground to cover. Got some locks to get through. Just using the joystick to get off the dock here. It's got a joystick. Super easy. I could push this in any direction I want. The bow's kind of leaning out, so I can push and twist. So I'll twist. And once I'm a good bit off the dock, I can go to splitting the sticks. But it's a pod-driven boat, right? So they're designed to use the joystick. Kind of like if you've been on an outboard boat with the new Mercury V12s. It's the same thing. Like, it almost works better when you want to use the joystick, as far as like compared to like splitting the sticks. Like, it almost feels weird when you get in those tight spots and you try to split the sticks, because they design them that you can use the joystick, and it makes it really easy to drive that way or park the boat in that manner. Yeah, we did our best to get a lot of the bugs off, but there's still a bunch on the boat, and then a couple made it inside too, which is annoying, but hopefully we can get them out throughout the day. Cruising out of Pickwick here back into the 10-com. Get it rolling. Yeah, we could go through 5 locks today. There's 5 locks within like 60 miles. So hopefully they go smoothly and we can get through them quickly, because we've been waiting on a couple locks so far on this trip. So hopefully we do good today. I think we are past a lot of the great loopers. As far as when they travel down, we're getting a little bit ahead of them. So, yep, waiting for the rest of the fog to burn up so we can get her up on plane and start covering some ground. I wanted to show you guys this. We are going in super reduced visibility right now. Just going 6 miles per hour this morning. Super slow. Already seeing 2 bass boats without their lights on. Just so you guys know, fog is still reduced visibility. So if you have fog, you still should have your nav lights on. Just like you have your headlights on if you're driving your car, or if you're in the rain, same thing. It's not just for at night. You're in reduced visibility, your navigation lights should be on. Just if you guys didn't know that already. When you're going in reduced visibility like this, and you have a mate, they should definitely be on watch too. So Shane's sitting up here,
Right up the windshield.
looking at right out the window, just so we have 2 sets of eyes looking out, making sure nobody's coming up on us. I have AIS open on my phone, and there's nobody that has AIS that's on the river anywhere close to us. But can't assume that nobody's there. Obviously, there's a bunch of bass boats out here, and there's plenty of other boats, other pleasure crafts that might not have AIS on as well. There's a little like flats boat or something right here, John boat or something, that has just a spotlight on. It's a Carolina skiff. And again, spotlight isn't nav lights, because if I can't see your nav lights, and like fog's starting to lift, so not a big deal. But if I can't see your nav lights, I don't know what direction you're going. So it's important you have your red and your green on, so other boats can see which direction you're going. I saw them come out of a canal close to us, not a big deal, but just a reference point why it's important for you to have your reds and greens on. It's for other boats. We've been off the dock for like an hour now. Still just a bunch of fog. We're actually in the waterway now, but still just a bunch of fog down there. Not really super comfortable getting it on plane just yet, but hopefully within the next like 30 minutes or so we can run and start putting some miles behind the boat. Okay, went ahead and got her up on plane. Still a little bit of fog on the river, but got plenty of visibility. 2400 RPM, doing 27 miles per hour. We're going now. We got to run there for about 30 minutes or so, maybe a little less than that. And now we're back down to 8 knots. We are in a straight up cloud right now. Back down to 8 knots. Got the radar up spinning. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the majority of the rest of our mornings here on the 10-pound waterway. Dealing with the fog in the mornings. So this is what we got. It is 9:20 in the morning. Just pulled up to the first lock here today, this morning, and just talked to the lock operator, and he says he's not opening until 9:45. So we got a little bit. Okay, pulling in the first lock. What's that?
I'll go to the second to last one up there.
Okay.
To my first boat, we just pushed in. I need the guy that's handling the line to please put a life jacket on. We appreciate that. Thank you.
You're getting yelled at. Should I go on the low one or the high one?
I'll go the high.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Stern's touching. Come forward some. That's good. Bump forward one time. All right, you're tight. What's that? That was crazy. We must have just did like close to 100 feet. You're clear? Yeah, we just did close to 100 feet, if not more probably. That was massive. Crazy how big this lock is. Wow. That is insane. Alright, I'm going to flip these fenders in, make sure we're all secure to run again. But we're going to try to knock out a couple more locks today. Onto the decks. We made it to the second lock of the day. Up here, it looks like we're going to be going down quite a bit again. But he's reversing the chamber right now. We're probably got to wait at least 30 minutes for this one. This is what I'm talking about with this lock game. You get to the lock, try to get to the lock in between the locks in a timely manner, but then you got to play the hurry up and wait game when you get to them, for them to reverse the chambers and stuff and get ready for the boat to be able to pull into the lock itself. So just a lot of waiting. Alright, doors are opening up there. Throw my life vest on so I don't get yelled at this time, and hopefully we can get through this one pretty quick too. Okay, so we're in the third lock of the day. It is 12:52, and they actually put us in here with a tug. Big old tug, and then our two other pleasure boater friends down there, and you can actually see the water line of how far we're dropping. We've already dropped probably close to 150, 160 foot today, and it looks like we're going down close to 100 again. I think it's another big drop. Crazy stuff. So we'll probably only have time for one more today, and then try to find an anchorage for the night. Get tucked away somewhere away from the channel so the tugs aren't rocking us. Okay, just went through the third lock of the day. Probably only going to get one more done. The scenario we're in right now, it's just after 1 o'clock, and if we go through this next lock, there's a good anchorage, the 4th lock, and then there's a good anchorage at the 5th lock before you get into the 5th lock. But if you do the 5th lock, there's not a good anchorage in between the 5th and 6th lock. So if we run out of time to go through the 6th, we're going to be out of luck on anchorages, if that makes sense. So the plan is right now to get through number 4 and then probably be at that anchorage around 5 today in front of the 5th lock and be ready to go through it first thing tomorrow morning. But there's just a series of locks down here on the 10 tom that we have to get through to get the boat moving south. So it's just what we got going on right now. We are kind of slow rolling today, which isn't ideal, but the weather is super nice. Starting to get like the fall colors in the trees and stuff. They're changing colors. The sat is nice. So, not ideally moving at the pace we want to be moving, but the weather's really nice. So, that's the bright side. We are here at the 4th lock of the day. The way it ended up working, we got to go through with that same barge we went through the 3rd lock with. So he's going to get in there tied up, and we're just going to go across from him, whatever side he's on. He gets in there first, ties up. We get in there to the opposite side of him, get secure, and then we leave first when the lock goes down and opens back up. So that's what we're working with right now. It is 2:40 in the afternoon. Like I said, we're going to try to anchor at the next lock, but we will call the lockmaster and ask if he knows of any good anchorages in between that lock and the next lock. If he does, and there's a good reliable one, we'll go through that lock today, and that'll end up being 5 locks in one day, which is really good. But if it ends up being 4, not the end of the world. Okay, just did our 4th lock of the day. Right here next to this tug, right here. Gates are opening now. As soon as the lockmaster blows the horn, we'll know we're good to go, and I'll get us out of here, heading to the next lock. There's the horn.
Alright, let the red boat go first, Captain, and y'all have a safe trip on down. Right, Joe. Appreciate you, Lockett.
Full 10 lock, 50-foot erect boat, clear rear structure. Thank you for the opening. We just did that 4th lock a little bit ago. Came up, caught up to this guy. He's a 3-wide tug, and he has a right of way for the next lock anyway, so we're probably not even gonna mess with him. If the lockmaster has a good spot for us on this side of the lock, that's what we're gonna do for the night. But this boat's, he's only going like 2.5, 3 knots, and this boat will just do like 5 knots just in gear. So, but it does have a low speed mode on the throttle there. I just press that bottom left button, put it in gear, and now it just has us moving 2.7 miles per hour, just over 1.5 knots, 2 knots really. But it allows me to keep control of the boat without having to go in and out of gear the entire time, which is a great tool to have. You got twin big old pods down there pushing this boat with dual props, so you put it in gear, it wants to go. So the low speed mode's a nice tool to have for sure. If anybody's wondering what we do on these 10 to possibly 14-hour days sometimes, it's a lot of this, a lot of snacking. On the 4 p.m. snack of choice is chips and queso. So that's kind of what we got going on when you're on the boat for a few, quite a few hours at a time. Okay, so we actually found a dock tonight here in Smithsville. Like we're somewhere in Mississippi, that's all I can tell you, really. But it'll do. Got her on the end of the dock here. The lock that we have to go through tomorrow is literally right around the corner, like 200 yards from here. So we're gonna stay here for the night, and then first thing in the morning, be off again, trying to knock some more miles off. We did good today, 4 locks, and then we're right next to the next one we got to do. So we got to go through 3 locks, and then we have a fuel stop tomorrow, and then hopefully we can get through that 4th one also tomorrow and keep on rolling. But while we wait here, we're gonna do some cheeseburgers, and then maybe Shane's never had monkey bread, if you can believe it or not. Put in the comments if you've never had monkey bread, or if you have had it, what your opinion is. But we're gonna do this. I'm about to change Shane's whole perspective on life, because he's like 50 years old or something like that, and he's never had monkey bread. Kind of crazy. But
Born in the 1900s.
he was born in the 1900s, so it's wild. But yeah, all right. But I'm gonna end the video here for tonight, and I'll catch y'all in the morning. Good morning. It is day 6. The sun is coming up. We already went through 1 lock over there, and now we're waiting on this lock. There is a northbound tug that hasn't even pulled in there yet, but they have the right of way in the lock, so they're gonna get him through coming this way. But now they don't have to reset the chamber. After he leaves, we can just pull right back in and get moving down river. Today our goal is to get 5 locks done. If we can do that, we'd be in a pretty good shape. We're already in a good spot going through 1 lock already this morning, so we're just gonna grind it out today, keep on rolling south. Little time update. It is 9:15 on day 6 here, and we are in the 3rd lock of the day, doing pretty good on time. We can see on AIS though there is a tug south of here that we're gonna have to pass, but before we go through the 4th lock of the day, there's a marina, and we're gonna grab fuel, top off, and then keep on pushing south. Try to keep covering a bunch of ground. We're already doing really good today. We should be able to clear at least 100 miles today, if not a little bit more, closer to 150. Would be ideal, obviously. And then tomorrow be in the Alabama ICW, and then take a left, head east into the Panhandle of Florida, and then be back home Friday or Saturday at the latest. But yeah, no, we're doing good today. Can't get over how nice it is out here. It's crazy how good the weather's been for us, and just coming through here in fall, all the trees are changing colors and stuff. It's just awesome. What a privilege it is to get to do this trip. It's been incredible. Chippewa. Name of that those are some freight downriver. We passed him yesterday evening, and then we stopped, and he kept going, but he must have stopped not too far from here last night. We figured they would have kept going, but now we caught up to him again, which might slow us down a little bit because they might want us to ride in the locks together with them. Actually, you know what? This is the 3 wide one, so we can't get in any of these locks with him. He's 2 wide back here, but then his front is 3 wide, so he's got to have a lock to himself. We can't go in there with him. So maybe we can get ahead of him, but the tugs technically have the right of way and the locks, like they get first pick to them because they're pushing freight. So we'll see if it slows us down in here or not. 4 o'clock of the day right up there, but right before we go through it, we're gonna come over here on the left hand side. There's a little marina, Columbus Marina. We're gonna stop there and top off the fuel. We're at 62%, so she'll probably take just about 200 or so gallons. This boat holds 442 gallons, so you have about 420 gallons of usable fuel. When you're doing your math on a diesel boat, obviously you have total fuel and then you have usable fuel, right? So usually you're subtracting 20 to 30 gallons around that off your total fuel, and that's what your usable fuel is. So when you do all your math and calculating of how far that fuel will take you, you don't do it off total fuel, you do it off your usable fuel that you have. But we're gonna get up here off with fuel and try to get through this lock. Doing good today. It's not even 10:30, so we've already been through 3 locks. All right, pulling back here to the marina. Locks right here, so we'll get fuel and head through the lock. Go right here. I just gotta watch the depth here. Should have about 6 foot back here, but always want to be careful. He's on it. Alright, we just pulled in there to Columbus Marina, tops off with fuel. Then we called this lockmaster and he's telling us 30 to 40 minutes before we can get through. Is what it is, we're already doing really good on time, so we're just gonna have to hang out and wait for him before we can pull in there and get on moving again. Got some good string of luck going. We made it to the 5th lock. And as we came around the corner, these guys were pulling in, so we don't have to wait for them to reset the chamber or anything. This is the first lock on the trip that we don't have to wait for. We just got to pull straight in as we pulled up to it. So great timing today, covering a lot of ground. We're still going to cover a good bit more. It's only 1:10 in the afternoon, so we're going to keep on going, keep on rolling. We're attached here. We've been doing 5 fenders aside, so 4 along the side. And then we found out at that first lock we went through it by St. Louis that the stern was getting a little close right there, but they have a very aft cleat on this boat. So we've just been throwing that extra fender on there just as a secure way of doing it. Usually when you plan to go through locks, you usually have more fenders than you need, and it's nice to have them set up on both sides, just in case you pull into starboard and the lockmaster calls you and he's like, I actually need you on port for whatever reason, but it happens. You're already ready to go. You don't have to change all your fenders to the port side. You already have fenders over there that you can just flip over the side of the boat and you're good to go. And that's usually the most efficient and just the safest way to do it too, because if you're in the middle of the lock and you've got to switch everything before you can get on the other wall, it gets hard to maneuver and hold the boat still in a lock because there's a lot of water going in all different directions because it gets in here and it just swirls once the water's pushing through the lock itself. When we were at Columbus Marina getting fuel, it was pretty cool. The dock attendant gave us this cool little sheet with all the locks in the marinas going down the river and the VHF channel that you can reach them on and phone number, which is super helpful. And then she also gave us a list of all good anchorages, which for people that aren't familiar with the area like we are is super helpful because we have a good anchorage list here with the depths and everything, and just making sure it would be safe to pull in there and stuff. Because sometimes you look online and you're reading reviews of an anchorage from like 2018, which is like a lot can change in almost 8 years, you know. So that's what it's super nice to have a little cheat sheet that she gave us that just confirms that if we pull up to an anchorage, that it's safe to do so in this. It is currently 2:50 in the afternoon. Just pulled up to our 6th lock of the day. So glad we've been able to do all these today. And then we're running another 43 miles to Kingfisher Bay, so it should just be just about 2 hours in this boat, depending on how many times we have to slow down and all that. But we're doing really good. I'm mapping out everything on Navionics, and then I also read all about Kingfisher Marina on Navionics, which is nice, right? So I tell all my customers this. If you guys are going to use your boat at all, you need Navionics, but you definitely need it when you travel to click on marinas and click on anchorages and see where fuel docks are and all that good stuff that you need to know. And then you also need a few good weather apps. I use My Radar, Windy, and Wind Finder. Thankfully this trip the weather's been absolutely amazing, so that's just been a great bonus to an already amazing trip as is. So just a cool deal going on here. So yeah, we're gonna wait about 10 minutes or so for this lock to open, and then we probably got another 2 hours to go once we get through that lock. Okay, lock number 6 for the day and last lock of the day. And then after this, we actually only have 2 more locks for the entire trip. So getting close to the end, we were able to secure a slip to at Kingfisher Marina. And we'll be able to get fuel before they close. And just a really good day where we covered a lot of ground and got through a lot of locks that I thought we might not be able to get through today. So really, really good stuff. Looks like there's something floating up here. Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't run through that. You got it? We are secure.
Hey, Roger, just gonna get these gates locked up and get you on through. Have a safe trip going on down. There's a tow, the David J. Cooper's about 30 miles south heading this way. Other than that, y'all have a good one and maybe we'll catch you again someday.
Copy that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the opening. Lock doors are opening on the final lock of the day. Exciting stuff. We're gonna make fuel, get fuel tonight, so we don't have to wait tomorrow morning for them to open. We gotta kind of hustle. But he did say, okay, we're clear. Gonna get off. The lockmaster did just say there's a tug coming this way about 30 miles down, so we'll probably end up catching up to him within an hour, maybe less. These tugs, they only go like 3 knots, so I'll probably make it down to him less than an hour. And then we're just gonna have to call him, slow down, make our pass, and hopefully that's the only time we have to slow down. The fuel dock closes at 6 and it's 3:17. We really have plenty of time, so that's the good news. That we get to get fuel tonight so we can leave. Same thing tomorrow, 6:15, 6:30 in the morning, start rolling. We're gonna try to get clear of Mobile, Alabama tomorrow and start heading east in the ICW there, towards the Panhandle. We just went through that last lock of the day, and over here we're running past like a rock wall. I don't know if that's like limestone or what. If you know what kind of rock that is or how they even cut into the river like this, drop a comment below. That's pretty cool stuff. Sun is going down. Made it here to Kingfisher Marina. Got the boat all tucked in for the night. Did really good today. Really nice marina. Got 6 locks done today. So that was great for timing and stuff. With the sun still up, we still got some light out, so that's great. This 50ft Yacht, she is beautiful. Such a great boat. Great boat for the Caribbean and a great boat to do the Great American Loop on for sure. We've met so many cool people on this trip. We might only have 2 days left, 3 at most. We have 200 miles from here, just about, to get to the ICW out of Mobile, Alabama. If we can do that by early afternoon tomorrow, we'll take that turn left, head east, and get as far as we can in the ICW. And then on Thursday, try to make it all the way back home, run into St. Petersburg if we have to. That's our local waters. We can do that. If we have to run that at night, that shouldn't be a problem at all. But guys, I'm going to end part 2 of 50ft Yacht transport from St. Louis, Missouri to St. Petersburg, Florida, right here. If you stayed all the way to the end, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.